All right, so now let's get into the fun aspect of self-care because we've been talking about some really deep shit, which has been fantastic. But let's have some fun. So, what do you do for yourself just for pure fun?
Sometimes I do absolutely nothing. Literally. Like I said, I'm in a good headspace now.
Yeah.
I'm happy where I am. But some weekends, I'm just lying in bed, scrolling through Instagram or TikTok, looking at YouTube and various and sundry other things. That is a form of self care rest.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm resting. Sometimes I do this. I get up, I put on my matching headband. I have lots of scarves and headbands, just to let you know. They usually match whatever I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I put on my accessories and spray my perfume and go out and shop. That's really all I did today. I just ran errands and I
Yeah.
felt good and
Ugh.
smelled good, looked good. I was sweaty, a sweaty mess. I'm a sweaty Betty.
Me too. Me too. Totally.
So I have the requisite white washcloth nearby. I
Mm.
had it tucked in, because I had to dab. I literally had to dab. And my sunglasses kept falling off because, it was so sweaty. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let me just put them somewhere. As glamorous as I am when it's warm outside, and what I have on is kind of warm too, but, I like a certain look, aesthetic, whatever, some
Mm-hmm.
days. So I do that. I go out and, when I get my hair done and, I'll do that and like to coordinate. And so, you know, I will do my nails, get them done. I outsource that. I'll go and get waxed wherever, whenever. I don't do Brazilian.
Oh, I do. Oh, have you done that before?
No, I don't know if I will, but I've heard things.
When you meet the right person, I mean, and I don't mean like partner. When you meet the when you meet the right waxer, you will get a Brazilian. You want to feel sexy as fuck? Get a Brazilian from the best waxer in your city. That's what I do.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm not going to cross it out. Maybe it'll be a bucket list thing.
it's
Maybe for
worth it.
my
It's worth a try.
50th.
It's worth a try. I'll just
Hey,
say it's worth a try.
so I'll do just whatever I feel like doing in the moment to make me feel good.
Hmm.
Like the segment on Parks and Recreation, treat yourself.
Yes.
We're gonna do whatever we want to do, whether that's cupcakes, buying things, expensive things, enjoying luxurious things, going to the spa. I really indulge in that. That is,
Yes.
I've been treating myself before treat yourself was a thing, and I'm sure many others have.
Hmm.
So they just made it more mainstream.
Yeah.
And so now, self care, spa day, and all that stuff. I'm like, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
My ex husband and I, we would, when things were good, we did like a couples massage. And he did like some type of bath. And, I'm over here just relaxing in the spa. And, we've been doing that stuff. And I'll get
Yeah.
back to it. There's a place here in Maryland called Spa World. If anybody wants to hook me up, come on with it. So I want to do that. So I've got my little routines.
Hmm.
Those are the things I do to make myself feel good. If I want to have a pig out moment, I'll do that. I also, like I said, I'm back to working out. It's a
Yeah.
low level 1 mile workout, but I do it. I did it,
Yeah.
I've done it, 3 days in a row. I'm getting back on my weight loss journey. Like I said, I've been turned around for a bit and now I'm coming back to that. That is definitely
Yeah.
obviously big self care.
Hmm.
But I say this with that: if you don't like me at my before, you can't be with me at my after.
Good one.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
because a lot of people are into the after. It's like,
Right.
oh my God, you're so beautiful now. Now you look
Right.
so good
Yeah.
now. I'm like, yeah, but my before I was beautiful then too. You
Hmm.
just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So those are the things. Look, I did get my nails done last week. I
Nice. Yes.
showed it. It's like sparkly red. Doesn't
I'm
match my
still mine.
toes, but
I'm a month out. I need to get mine redone, but
oh
they're
yeah.
there.
Yeah, so those are the things I like to do for myself. Just for fun, for
Hmm.
enjoyment. Maybe I'll window shop on Amazon or eBay or something like that. But a lot of the times I'm really resting
Yeah.
because I've been through a lot this year. So when
Mhm.
people are like, what are you doing this weekend? Nothing. and I'm okay with it. And it's not a mental health thing. I crave rest. It's
Yeah.
almost like my body is still catching up from the past 6 or 7 or 8 months,
Yeah.
which is weird. But I still go out and do
I
things.
get it.
You know, so those are just some of the things I like to do. And of course, this this is also part of self-care.
It is. It really
Yes.
is. We have unpacked a lot of stuff in the last 2.5 hours.
We've unpacked a lot of stuff in the last year and a half on CMC.
Yes.
Woo! I've had some sessions on Childfree Morning Chat.
That doing that morning show has changed my life. I mean, in so many ways. Before I forget, we have to announce our titles for self-care. You being, you're those she's like, what? Because I was trying to figure out a way to incorporate that, and I left it for the last segment, because if you guys are listening or watching, we've airing these at different times. But the whole point of this particular section of the conversation is to own the fact that we are self-care queens, but we don't use the term queen. So what do you use, and why do you use that term?
I am, let me just say, I designated myself a princess a while ago. And there's a certain connotation that comes with being a princess versus a queen. When people think of queens, they think of the strong woman in power, and she lords her authority over the land. That ain't me. Man, I want to be the princess sleeping on the soft bed, having my minions run about for me. Queens do that too. But I'm talking about Cinderella, Snow White, even though, I don't know, it's kind of ominous in Disney terms, but I digress.
It kind of is.
Disney princesses, no. I'm not a Disney princess. I don't like Disney, actually. But I'm all about the feeling. I embody that.
Right.
So I'm all about the beauty and the softness and the, please, sir, hold my door open for me. Hold my hand as I, like, kind of like Mariah Carey. She's a definite princess diva.
Yes.
That's me to the core. And it's like, sir, yes, please open my door. And, all of this stuff. I'm very much about chivalry. So I am the princess of self-care.
I love it so much. We should have put that in our titles. I think I can do that on video. I can make a pop-up or something.
Feel free.
So I knew you were the princess. I have gone by Duchess. I am the Duchess of self-care. Someone had given it, said, oh, you're the queen of self-care. And I looked at that. I'm like, I don't feel old enough to be a queen. And I agree with your assessment of queen. Duchess for me is it's kind of middle ground, because to me, Duchess is a little more edgy than a princess, if you will. Like when I think Duchess, I think, okay, she's got to work. She's got to do work a bit. There's got to be a little bit of a fight. I don't know. Maybe it's the word. I don't know why. Princess, for me, it's just absolute opulence, spoiled, and not in a bad way. Yeah. So that works for me. So I'm the Duchess of self-care, because I think it's because I view it as I don't need someone to pamper me. I totally will take care of it myself. Where princess, definitely the whole minion thing. I think, the Duchess can have 1 or 2 people. And then the rest, she's got it under control. That's how I view it. That's just purely my opinion of it. So we are the Duchess and princess of self-care. So hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. I don't have a wave.
As a princess, I must.
Yes, you do, and you do it very well. But but this is in all seriousness though. I love that we have we title that ourselves. I mean, even if we just say it to ourselves, it's because again, it comes down to honoring yourself and look, why not? We have to, we treat ourselves a certain way and then expect to be treated a certain way. And to me, it allows me to also treat people a certain way, and in a good way, equal. If I feel good about myself, I want to make sure the other person's feeling good about themselves.
Can I show you my shower cap?
No, you have not.
Can I show it?
Yes, you can.
This is how much I've leaned into my princess.
Are you going to show me a tiara?
No, this is a shower cap.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're showing me a tiara.
Look at there's a pink bow, and
Oh
on
my
it
goodness.
there's sunglasses and
Yes.
designer purses and a corset. It
Yep.
reads lovely, charm, exquisite. This is me.
That is
For
you.
those who don't get it, this is me. And that's just how I am, even if nobody else sees me that way. And it's like, that's my shower cap. If you can understand where I'm coming from, I fully embrace and embody that.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Well, to your point, this is the throne pose. That canvas
I
behind me.
see.
That canvas behind me from a photo shoot I did earlier this year. I was not going to get that done. I'm like, don't have me sit down and pose, but she did it anyway. And I saw that photo. I'm like, holy,
It is freaking awesome.
it
It
is
is
fierce.
you.
And it is me. And the funny thing is I when I saw that photo, inwardly I did not feel the way I look. Now I feel I'm at like this has been several months since that photo shoot. I have learned so much about myself that I feel the way I look in that photo now. But I look at
Yeah.
myself and I'm like, I wasn't quite there yet. I see it now, but I remember my headspace. I feel that now when I look at that photo. And so that is behind me. I ended up ordering the canvas. I'm like, why not? It captures my 39th year
That
perfectly because
really is how you show up to most people, I believe.
and that's what I'm told. And I take that as a compliment because I'm like, look, I'm here. This is how I am. Look at the freaking Dolce and Gabbana shoes that I still can't really walk in because of my ankle, but I could sit in them. But and they're in my closet. But it's like, but that and I thought, would it be weird? Like, because I didn't want this around my house where I could look at it. But I'm like, maybe I should put it in the backdrop to my videos. I'm always on camera now. So I love it because I mean it's I've never had anybody say anything negative, and I don't think they would dare at this point because like I don't care if someone doesn't like it, that's fine. This is for
How could
me.
they not like it? It's
Well,
like,
this
oh my god,
well,
I want a wallet size to put in my wallet. It's like, who is that? This is my girl,
I mean,
Lenore.
this photo inspires me because when I'm
Yes,
feeling like when I'm lacking confidence, which still happens, because like you have your
yes,
moments where you self doubt. I look
yes.
at that photo, I'm like, no, Lenora, you have this, you got this. This photo shoot has been one of the most amazing self care acts I've ever done in my entire life. It because I've never been comfortable in photos or on camera. This taught me a lot because I saw myself. I mean, yes, I was glam to the hilt. I someone did the wigs for me, and I had a makeup artist, and of course professional photographer who taught me how to pose. And we did a lot of conversations before we did the actual photo shoot. But I still saw myself, and I was okay with that. I was okay. I was like, oh, okay. I can be this person. Like I mean, this is me. This is because I wanted to look how I feel inside. And
Yes,
she caught that.
she
And
did.
that changed a lot because it allowed me like it doesn't matter if someone likes it or doesn't like it because in advocating for what I do in the child free space, I'm like I'm just showing up as me. I don't really ever get a bad reception. I don't assume that everybody likes me, and I'm not here to be liked by everybody. I just I do genuinely care, and I know that does come through. But when it comes to appearance, it's so I've been so hung up on it for a long time, which is why I refused to do video for a long time. And I'm over that now because I'm like, it's opened up a lot of doors, not the appearance, but just showing up, you know?
Yeah,
And we've talked about, or we all have individuals issues or struggles with ourselves. But that's like been one of the greatest acts, if not the greatest act of self-care I've done so far in my life because it freed me in so many ways. So I'm like, yeah,
it
I'm here.
inspires me to want to do something like that for myself. I've never had a professional photo shoot, and it's gotten me thinking maybe I
On
should do that for myself.
yeah, you know what? And even I'm gonna say this for guys too, whatever gender, do it because I've talked to a lot of women since. Some who were thought about it, who've done it since I've done my shoot, and like I didn't do a boudoir shoot. They've done some of them have done those. This was a personal branding one, but I highly recommend it because it just it's like first of all, find somebody, find a good person. Like I didn't go with the cheapest person. I didn't go with the most expensive, but I had a good vibe from her and she walked me through a lot of things. We had a consult and she really like captured my spirit. And that's what I told her before we did the shoot. I'm like, I want like, I'll alter my appearance a little bit. I said, I'll have wigs. I said, it's going to be full glam makeup, but what suitable for me? I said, but I want my spirit to come through. Because at any age, that is who I am. Because sometimes I see, like, I have 16 photos from that shoot. I see the little 3-year-old me sometimes, and sometimes I see like the person who I'm becoming. And it's really cool. Like, it really empowers you. So I highly recommend it, because at the end of the day, you realize, like, okay, yeah, this is the package I have. Love it or hate it. But if you get the right photographer, you see you. And
all of you in all forms.
It's pretty emotional, because I was so nervous. I'm like, I had so much fun, but then the next day I went back to the reveal and I was like, I'm probably gonna hate everything, because I'm so critical of how I looked, even if I had full glam and like the posing where they get your best assets forward or wherever, like they showcase you. And I think she had 60. I mean, and I narrowed it down to 16. For the most part, I liked all of them, and I was so emotional. V, she had a video of me, like, and I was just like, and not just the appearance thing, but just how I just saw myself. It was so different. I'd never had that experience before, and I was like, oh my God, that is me. Like, I could see all. It was just like, I can't explain it. It was just, everybody go get one done. Because and then it changed even how I take a selfie and how I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I let my personality come through more now, I think, because I could see that in the photos and I was like, oh, okay. So it just for that alone, like, again, worth it.
I get it. Yeah. And I'm definitely going to look into it.
Yeah. I mean, especially when, like, because you realize everyone has the same hangups. None of us really truly get to see ourselves. And if we do, we want to present ourselves a certain way. And that's what I was doing in these photos. Like, I was like, I want a certain look and I'll do a certain thing to get that certain look. But I still saw myself, which I think, when you can see yourself, it's like, and this is the thing is, it's not egotistical at all. There's nothing. It's not an arrogance level. It's just like, it's like an acceptance.
Yes. Definitely.
And that is like one of the most powerful things you can do, because you're just like, after all the shit we go through from childhood till now,
yes.
And our self-care journeys and dealing with the opposite gender and all that great stuff. It's like,
yeah.
It's just one more thing in your arsenal, because then you realize, like, wait, this is me. So I'm going to show up. If you're not into it, bye.
Exactly.
That was a tangent, but you know what? It's I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything I've done that's given me that level of understanding about myself. So, okay. So, anything else you want to add on this topic?
I just want to say again, whatever you want to do that makes you feel good, special, loved, and appreciated, and appreciating of yourself, go for it. No matter how old you are or what stage you are in your self-care journey, do little things. It doesn't have to be obviously what LeNora or I do. That's what we do for us.
Yeah.
But do what works for you, whatever that might be. Whatever makes you feel good and happy within, and you feel, okay, this is me. This is how I'm going to express myself as far as self-care goes. That's the most important thing. The most important relationship you have is with yourself. Yes, I know. Sex in the City, but it is true.
It is true. I know. I hate that it's been turned into a cliche, because people just like roll their eyes and go, ugh. But it is true.
It's true. Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean, look, you're gonna be you are your own constant companion, like it or not. I joke and say I put myself in a timeout sometimes. I'm like, okay, you're driving me insane. Like, stop it.
Sometimes you have to put yourself in check. Yes.
Exactly. Oh, you
stop tripping, B. Stop tripping. Chill out.
So I had just a funny question came to mind. Have you had any self-care fails? I don't know. I just think it'd be funny. I'm trying to think if I have one, but I'm probably
self-care fails.
Yeah, like,
well, I went to get my hair done and she cut way too much off.
I had that happen this year. Yes.
I also transitioned from a perm to a curl. Now, a curl back in the 80s was when we chemically processed our hair to actually make it curly. Duh.
Oh,
Made no sense at all. You're not supposed to do that. And I had to get all of my perm ends cut. My hair was super, super short, but it was my fault because I was like,
okay.
I want a curl, I want a curl, but you have so many damaged perm ends. It was like super short, but the cut grew, my hair grew back beautifully actually for
Huh.
my senior picture, but it was super short. I'm like, well, I'll never do that again. Otherwise, oh, there was a sew in that was too itchy and I had to get it removed. But otherwise, I haven't had anything go horribly wrong that I can think of. Not that I, yeah, I'm thinking, but maybe something else will pop up. But that's like the only things that I can think of. But that was so long ago. I was like a teenager.
I was gonna say my self-care fails all happened around the age of 16 and 17. Like I kept dyeing my hair to the point where I was supposed to go to this event with my parents, and I decided to dye my hair that morning, which involved, so I have really dark hair naturally. Well, it's like red, it's brown, but it's kind of like reddish brown, and it's mostly straight. Um, I had bleached my hair the night before. I had this, what was that bleach? A blondisma. I don't know if you remember that from like the 90s. Anyway, it was like they would just bleach your hair, and then I would dye it all sorts of colors. Well, I did that one too many times. And so the night before I had bleached it, and my intention was to go bright red and then go to this event with my parents. Well, my hair was so done, and by then it was like I had to chop it. It was like shoulder length. It came out this really funky purple, and my hair was so damaged it wouldn't even take that color. So it was just like
Yikes.
it was like I think the roots were kind of like this purple thing, and it was like this faded lavender, but only parts of it. And so then I told my mom I was really sick that I couldn't go to this event because there was no way in hell I was showing up with my hair like that. And I don't
Yikes.
know how I don't know how I recovered from that. I think I just had to buy a box of like black hair dye or something and just leave it. So yeah, I mean I did it at home perm as well. Yeah, self-care in my teens was a mess. So
Yeah.
we got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. I don't. I think that's the only like horrendous thing. I guess we just got better at it as we got older.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
You live and you learn.
what? Although after we're done this recording, I'll know exactly what my fail was. Like, it only probably happened like 3 years ago, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's what it was." But I think it was the hair thing. It took me years for my hair to like get back to normal. But um, okay, so what I shared was like the most probably rewarding, but do you have one that was like the most fun? And let's, it can be frivolous because I had a frivolous day yesterday. I just went shopping downtown in my city and it was just like, I want stuff. I went to Swarovski and then bought a pink dress. Um, didn't need any of that stuff, but I was like, you know what? I felt pretty. The weather was beautiful. You know.
Um, I bought myself a Louis Vuitton, my first Louis Vuitton purse.
Ooh. Yeah.
I didn't need it. I was just like, I just want it.
Yep.
So I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And
How did
now
that
I
make you
have it.
feel?
It made me feel great. And this is it.
Nice.
Yeah. It's simple, but it's actually
Simple.
real.
Yeah.
And it made me feel like, yay, I'm getting to do this for myself.
Yep.
And I'm happy about it. It's my very little luxurious thing. Let me have my luxurious thing.
Yep.
I don't do this often.
You and I have had good conversation about the whole luxury thing because that is, and when you get to that point, because I've always felt like do it within your budget because luxury changes, right? Like
Yes.
there was a time where spending $14 Canadian on a bottle of shampoo was like the most luxurious thing I could ever do. And I started there and that made me feel great. And over the years, it's worked its way up because, life changes. Mine was the Dolce & Gabbana shoes, which now I wish I had in front of me, but a lot of you probably seen them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rhinestone satin, just like they're in my closet. I wear them on occasion, just in my hallway because broken ankle. I can't wear heels still. But that and you can't buy them anymore. Like they're not, that particular style isn't available anymore. So I'm really glad I bought them. But it's that when you're like, I have to do this for myself. They're
Mm-hmm.
always on display. I see them every morning and night, like walking through my closet. They're there. They're shiny. And you're just
It's for
like,
me. It's
yeah,
just
it's
for
for
me.
me. It's purely for me. And you know what? Like, say what you will about material things, because I like material things and experiences, but don't knock when something like brings you joy and it kind of just adds to your day, because to me it signals like you're telling yourself and the universe or whoever or whatever you believe, or if it's nothing, that's fine too, that you are worthy of something good. You're
Agreed.
worthy to feel good. And
Yes.
let's be real, at the end of the day, that's what we all do anything for, because we want to feel, we want some sort of good feeling from it, right?
That's what self-care is about.
Yes.
And my hair care routine, my supplement routine, my skincare routine, I would say it's all luxurious because I would
Mhm.
never have imagined paying upward of $10, $15 for hair care or a bottle of lotion, $100+ for a skincare system. Things have changed greatly.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so I do things very differently and I embrace my full princessness. I
Yeah,
just on a very different level now and
yeah,
I deserve the good things, the soft life,
yeah.
luxuries here and there. Everyone does.
Exactly. And going back to the permission things, like you start something that's like a little bit out of your comfort zone, but that's not gonna like stop you from paying your rent,
Yeah.
and work your way up. And I always say that because again, budgets fluctuate. Like I'm at a very different place in my life than I was a decade ago, and definitely from like 15 years ago. So start where you are. But the whole point is like do something nice for yourself, because when you realize, you're like, oh, I can do this, and you realize how much, or you realize what you can do for yourself. And that
Mhm.
when I think about it, like it seems like I've been doing really really great self-care things for a long time, but when I look at it, I'm going, it was actually like it was a, a certain trajectory, and then it just built. And so even now when I do something nice for myself, which is kind of pretty much all the time, it seems like
Yes.
I'm like, well, I just incorporate it more. But it's the feeling, so I don't have to be super extravagant. I just kind of, that feeling is kind of consistent. I think that's what it is. I feel like I do things for myself all the time,
Yeah.
and so that it's not, because when you do something once or twice, that feeling is amazing, and then you kind of revert back to the normal default for you. But
Mhm.
after a while, I've learned anyways that that feeling becomes consistent. And then it's not so much about treating yourself like to expensive fancy things all the time. I mean, you can do that if you want, but it's about like that feeling, and you're like, well, what am I doing to keep that feeling? And then you just kind of incorporate it into your daily life. And that for me, like I wake up in a good space most mornings, because I know like there's things I have to do that I don't always want to do, but my default feeling is different. And that's a lot of other things, but a lot of it has to do with, because I practice self-care and I have done things for myself. And you know it's nice. It's like the first thing I don't go like online and buy something first thing in the morning. I'm not doing that. I don't need to do that, but it's that same feeling, and that's what's really nice. That's how like I dreamt life could be like when I was 20.
Yeah.
You just wish, and it's just so not. And you're like, I want my life to be so different. you know um so yeah, it's just kind of like hopeful. And again, I guess, not to make it like, oh, we do this because we're child free, but we kind of do it because we're child free.
Yes, there are certain liberties that we can
Yeah,
undertake because we don't have a
yeah.
kid.
So,
Obviously.
I mean, again, I know people with kids who have better levels of self-care than I do, but it's just, again, the space, and kind of like you can do it because it's just you. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah. So final thoughts before we actually wrap, which is, this has been a marathon conversation. It's been amazing.
It's been wonderful.
It has been.
And just continue to do, as I said, do what makes you feel good. You know, if you want to go for the luxuries lifestyle, do it. If you want to be mid luxurious, do it. If you want to be low key, do it. Just
Mhm.
keep doing what makes you happy, what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get a little bit of external validation, but don't do what you do to seek that.
Mhm.
Look for internal validation in how you feel.
Absolutely. Well, wise as always. Thank you, V.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. I always appreciate when we are able to have these moments outside of Child Free Morning Chat, and
Absolutely.
we have more in-depth conversations about different things. So thank
And
you.
and we will be back again doing another one of these conversations probably pretty soon.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We do. All right, stay tuned, everybody. We'll chat soon.
Bye.